Today we're going to be continuing our playthrough of Space Haven Alpha 13. Let's get started. So when we last left off, we were in the midst of building our first weapon systems. We have a missile turret on one corner here, and then we have some shields coming online, and we have 3 energy turrets. So we're going to continue and finish those weapons today, and we're going to talk about the different types of weapons and how they're used. We talked about it a little bit in the previous session, but now we'll actually put those things into practice. We also are probably going to start building a second ship at some point today. Give me 1 second. Let's take a look at this power node here. So we have to provide a solid connection to our power grid here using the large nodes in order for our weapons to be effective. I think we can route the power like that, and that should be okay. Over here we have a bit of an issue because we don't have a large power node and there's no place to really put one. So we might have to try to squeeze one into the corner here or something along those lines. Let's take a look. So we could, if I move both that vent and that thermal regulator, we could put another large node in that corner, and I think that would be sufficient. Where's the outlet for this? This comes out on this side here. We also need to start producing some explosive ammunition. So the missile launchers take explosive ammunition, which is produced at the chemical factory here. We're going to set up a production rule to start producing, let's say, 6 of those at a time. And the other energy weapons are run using energy cells, which are already producing here at the optronics fabricator. So that's how we produce ammunition. So we have this set up to store only energy cells right now, I think. We also want to store some ammunition for the missile launcher here. So let's go ahead and have this store 2 units of ammunition at least. And then this one, I think we only have the 1 missile launcher. Yeah, so we're going to have the missiles storing ammunition over here. Maybe we'll bump this up to 3 actually, since we don't have another launcher. There we go. Have some prisoners that we're currently recruiting. Looks like we already have them toggled on recruit, so that's good. We need to get working on our thermal regulation and our vents over here. So let's go ahead and work on that. We're going to move this to the other side of the wall here. And I'm going to get rid of... Oops. Fire. Somebody started a fire over the industry section. That's okay, it looks like they're already putting it out. I think we're all right there. Yeah. Let's check our fundamentals here. Our blue crystal supply is okay-ish. We got 1 million units of Hyperium here. And we got plenty of ice. So we're good for a while. Energy is going to be our main constraint going forward. We've already transferred most of the stuff we can from the ship. We could, if we wanted to, bring in some energy scrap, but I recall we were having some storage problems before, so maybe we don't want to bring on too much. It looks like we're okay here. We also have some solar panels coming online, so that should help with our energy issues. Okay, now that we moved that, we're going to click on... Notice that I have multiple things on this wall here, so I can pick which thing I'm operating on here. Let's click on the air vent and dismantle the air vent. And then we're going to put the power node in this corner here. Somewhere ideally I'd like to fit... Oh, hold on 1 second. We actually already have a power node being constructed over there, so this was unnecessary. Oh well. Maybe we'll put an extra battery or something in that corner. Okay, we're in the process of manufacturing tech blocks and energy blocks. It's going to take us a little while to get that done. We could think about building a second advanced assembler if we wanted to speed up the process, but we don't really have a good place to build it right now. So I think we're just going to chill here for a minute. While we're doing that, we're also going to salvage some energy scrap just to keep us in energy. So we just finished we just finished research on the water collector. The water collector is going to help us conserve water over time when we're operating a large ship. It takes a bunch of energy, so we might not want to start it up right away, but it is going to help us save ice in the long run, and that's pretty useful for keeping our large crew in food. I think our next steps here, we could either go for the salvage robot, or we could go for the X3, or I could show you guys the targeting jammer. I'm going to do quantum research because I think that's going to open up our options and let us finish the tech tree quickly, because this increases our research speed by 10%. So let's work on that for right now. So I'm not going to build a water collector yet. Maybe we build just one. Let's build one water collector just so we can show it off here. So there's a resource that's part of the gas system on the ship. If you look at the views here, there's a view for water vapor, and this shows the level of water vapor. Water vapor comes from crew members breathing on the ship, exhaling. They exhale water vapor as they breathe, and the grow beds also produce water vapor as the plants are watered and they grow. So these two sources will produce this water vapor resource that just kind of hangs around floating on the ship. And what we want to do in the late game, when we're trying to husband our resources to prevent us from running out quickly with a large crew, is we want to start using the water vapor collector. So this is basically like a dehumidifier, right? It's a big old fan device that's going to take water and suck it out of the atmosphere and gather it in a bucket, and then that's going to be what it's going to produce water units, basically using the water vapor that's on the ship. So water vapor will travel all around the ship, and it'll get sucked up into the collector and eventually become a unit of water. And we can see that this is immediately going active, and we can see the water vapor level going down slightly. We probably have enough grow beds and stuff on the ship that we're going to need multiple collectors, but we're just going to have one for right now because we're a little bit low on the energy. Water collectors take a lot of electricity. If you look at our resource view here, we can see that it uses... Maybe they don't take a lot of electricity. Did they change that? 150 units of... Oh yeah, there it says. The top right there, power consumption is 5 units per second, which is substantial. It's not as big as like the industry factories, but it's enough, and the power is constantly being consumed as long as there's water vapor on the ship. So it's a bit more than... it's a bit more costly than just, the composters, for example. Looks like we got our tech blocks squared away here. We're just waiting on energy blocks to be produced. Let's link up our power for the forward weapons array here. Here we go. And we'll link this across here so we've got some redundancy in the network. And then this is going to get linked across there once that's ready. Once this node is constructed here. And I think we're going to put a battery in this corner after we finish this construction. Gathering a little bit of base metal, even though we have lots, we don't really strictly need to. I think what we should do, actually, let's jump and see if we can find some more energy to collect. So although the solar power is helping us out a little bit, it's not, most of the ship's energy is still coming from our X2 generators. We don't see any energy in this sector that we've already explored here. Let's check our raw chemical supply. We have 9 raw chemical units. I think we have enough raw chemicals for our purposes. We might stop selling chemicals as trade goods. At this point in the game. I think we have better, more expensive trade goods that we can sell, and raw chemicals can be a little bit difficult to find. I'm going to head over to this other satellite sector here, because we're still in the resource-rich sector. Actually, we might do this one first, if that's part of the same sector. It is, yeah. So this one's actually a little bit closer. And we'll pick up some ice on the way here. Actually, we'll have to go through here anyway when we leave, so let's pick this up on the way back. I want to get the energy first if we can. No energy here. I have a derelict here, which theoretically could have energy. This is energy, but there's also an enemy ship in this sector. I do want to fight them, but I don't want to fight them right this moment. I want to get our weapons online first. So we're going to park in this neighboring sector and get our derelict ship explored. And we'll pick up some raw chemicals and some carbon and so forth here. And we'll park close to the derelict because that's going to occupy most of our shuttle time here. Let's get our away teams in order. Okay, and I think we're going to enter over here. And an interesting thing that we can do, we have the missile turret online, but it has no power. Let's see if we can quickly get the power completed before this sortie is over. I'll put that as a construction priority. Doesn't look like we're going to have it available right now. An interesting thing about missile turrets is you can use them to shoot at derelict ships, which can help you fight aliens, especially if there's a lot of them. And it can also blow holes in walls and stuff like that. So it's really good for firing at like an alien nest, or if you need to make a new entrance because there's no safe entrance to get into an area. You can use the missile turrets for that, which is really useful. Okay. Got through the first nest. Very good. Somebody's going to have to pick this up. There we go. Let's go straight to the second nest. One person is going to stay and pick this up. Let's have him move there. All these other guys, we're going to have them face the door here. I'll have them actually withdraw a little bit and wait for that big guy to come out. There we go. Beautiful. And I think there was another big guy. Yeah, there he is. Let's try to pile everybody into the hallway to kill him as quickly as possible. There we go. Anand is about to fall unconscious, so we're going to send him back to the shuttle. Can you pick that up on the way out? We'll let somebody else do it. Okay, somebody's going to go pick this up. The rest of the crew here is going to continue exploring. We'll have him pick up that. Alright, we've explored the Quasitum, however you pronounce that. It's unfortunate that we couldn't get our missile turret online here, but next time we will. We got a tech block. Free tech block's always nice. A little bit of meat is good, some medical supplies, and some plastics. Sweet. We can also take on board some more carbon, some more raw chemicals, and we'll see about the other raw materials when we're done with that. How much storage space do we have overall? It'd be nice if it showed that somewhere. I don't know if it does. We have at least 100 units of storage, so we could bring all this stuff on board if we wanted to. Down to 5 blue crystals. Manufacturing energy blocks uses up a lot of energy, both because you're using energy doing the manufacturing and because you're actually using energy resources as the raw material for manufacturing. So as we build enough energy blocks to get our weapons online here, it makes sense that we're going to have a shortage. I think that's okay, yep. Beautiful. And actually we have enough energy blocks to get our last shield system online. And I'm debating whether I want to whether I want to remove a hull stabilizer to add a 5th weapon system. Right now we've got 4, 3 energy turrets and a missile turret, and we can easily see them if we look at the top of our ship here using the toggle roof view, which is a tab. So we can see here, this is our missile turret. This is what it looks like from above. These are our energy turrets. These are our shields. We'll see why that becomes important in a second when we get into ship-to-ship combat. Okay. Because we were about to go into a nebula, which is going to deplete our shields, I think I'm going to leave the 2nd hull stabilizer intact. How are we doing on... We transferred everything from here. I think we'd use some more energy scrap. Let's go ahead and pick that up. I should probably wall off this section that has the solar panels. I don't know why I left this open. Maybe I was going to build more food here. Check our food supply. I got 7 fruit and nothing else. So yeah, I think I was expanding our grow beds here. Let's go ahead and do that. And that's why we don't have a wall, because there's not quite enough room there. But I think it's worth it to have the extra food production. Okay, so we're just going to start growing a little bit of everything. And we already have a little bit of extra fruit. And a little bit of extra seeds and nuts. Let's grow a little bit of extra vegetables here. Okay, I don't think it makes sense for us to stick around to collect, just to collect this energy scrap. I think we should move on. So we're going to move into that other sector that had the blue crystals, even though it's going to deplete our shields. I'll wait till these guys are done their current shift. Maybe they'll finish off the salvaging. We can turn off the transfer of infra scrap to save logistical space. Okay, I think we've got all the energy scrap at this point. Just picking up some more from the airlock and the last couple people. And then we're ready to go. And we don't need these base metals, we're already full up, basically. So we're about to jump into our first ship-to-ship combat here, I think, excluding the boarding actions that we did earlier. What we want to do is let's take a look at our system readiness. So you can manage system readiness either automatically, which is what we do by default, or manually. If you know you're about to get into a sticky situation, it's a good idea to manage it manually. So let's start changing stuff. It's automatically going to switch us to manual. We're going to have navigation at red alert. We don't have a sensor system, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense for us to have ops at red alert unless we're going to do boarding. And we have turrets. Let's go to red alert on ops anyway, because I think we can afford it. We have enough crew. The other thing that we can do if we're preparing for boarding action is we can bring our guys on board the shuttles ahead of time. We also want to make sure that our crew is well rested, especially if we're doing a boarding action. So we'll give these guys an hour or two. Now, when you have these things set at red alert, so there's 3 stages. So on demand means the station is only manned when you're going to do something. So for navigation, it means nobody's sitting at the navigation console unless you're actively preparing for a jump. Yellow alert means they occupy the station as long as they're at their work schedule. So during, if you look at the crew schedule, a crew member during their blue period here is going to occupy one of those stations if you're on yellow alert. But once they go to end their shift, they're going to go back to bed as normal. And red alert means all hands to battle stations. We are going to make sure that there's already somebody at that station at all times, so that we can activate ship systems immediately when we need them. So because we're going into combat, we're going to do a red alert, and we're also going to man our boarding craft here. Okay, so now we're completely prepared for combat at this point. One thing to keep in mind is that the longer crew members sit at the station, this tires them out just like anything else. So you can see Elaine's yellow bar is a little bit low here. At some point, somebody's going to have to take over for him at the navigation console, because if his yellow bar runs out, he's not going to be able to work anymore. So these guys are a little bit tired from sitting at their stations all afternoon. Let's go ahead and prep for jump. Okay, we're jumping into the... Okay, we're gonna stop here. I'm gonna fight first, and then we'll come back for the blue crystals. Let's get the fight out of the way first. Oh, we have a little bit of low energy, so there's a possibility that we might have to retreat here. We'll see what happens. Or I should say there's a possibility we won't be able to fight them in ship-to-ship combat directly. Okay, so because I'm on the attack, I want to get as close to the enemy ship as possible. I want to do as much damage as I can before they get away. So, from the moment I'm warping into the system here, I've got a hostile ship in the sector. The first thing that I want to do is I want to assess the threat. I see that this is a 3x1 ship, so it's slightly smaller than mine, which means they're going to have fewer systems than I have. Because remember, these system points here are four system points per square of ship, and that limits how many weapons the ship can have. And then if I look at this roof view of the ship here, I can see what the systems are. So these airlocks are visible here. There's 4 of them, so I have multiple options if I want to try to board it. It has 2 upgraded hyperdrives. It has a sensor suite, which can be used to scan my ship if they wanted to try to find something. It's not super relevant in ship-to-ship combat, at least for the AI. These are shield generators. I have 2 shield generators I have to overcome if I want to penetrate their shields and start dealing damage. And then I have 2 energy turrets. So we definitely outgun them, and the ship should be easy prey. We're going to switch to our attack systems view here. This shows the different systems that our ship uses for ship-to-ship combat and operations. The operations console, you can see that there's no systems in this column because we don't have a sensor. This is what the sensor looks like. We don't have enough system points for one, but when we build a second ship, we're going to put a sensor on board, so you can see how that works. We have 2 shields. These are here and here. Nobody's manning the shield console right now. You can see that this box is blank. So that's an omission on my part because I was expecting to jump into the nebula. We're going to move shields to red alert. So somebody will start heading towards that station. We already have somebody. Penny is on weapons. So what we're going to do, I'm going to shift click on these 3. So notice we have 4 weapons here. These icons are the energy turrets. And let's go through all the controls here real quick. So these 3 icons, the little crosshairs, are energy turrets, and this one obviously is the missile turret. So we have 4 turrets we could use. We can order a system to be repaired if it's damaged, or if the shields are down, we can order somebody to repair the shields. We can stop charging the shields if the shields are taking up too much energy and our ship's having power shortages. We can remove a target that we've already assigned. So if I put all these guys and remove target, it clears our targeting crosshair here, and then I can click this to select target, or I can just click on these and then left click on the thing that I want to shoot at. Now I can target these systems individually. Each one has a health bar. So we can see here this is a shield generator's health bar. This is a sensor's health bar. I don't know why you'd shoot at that. This is a health bar for the weapon systems. I want to take out their shield generators to reduce their durability. So I want to center this circular crosshair more or less on the shield generator. And that yellow circle indicates places where the energy weapon bullets can fall. Since some of these, if I target here, will miss the ship entirely, I'm going to shift this over a little bit, and I'm going to target a corner of the generator. Now notice I'm not using the missiles. The missiles only damage the enemy ship's hull. So as long as this blue bar exists, because the shields are up, the missiles will be ineffective. And you can tell there's a little bit of animation here. There's like kind of a blue glow when our weapons hit their shields. Now the question is, do we send over boarders, or let's just try to fight them in ship-to-ship combat first. Because I want to kind of show you guys how that works. Now we have somebody on shields now, so notice that they're damaging our shields a little bit, but the shields are being recharged by Evan here as quickly as they're going down. Now because we outgun them, we're getting rid of their shields here, so very soon we're going to start firing missiles. Okay, let's start with the missiles now that their shields are down. So the missiles, these little bars here, by the way, the bar on the left, you'll see the bar on the left shows the cooldown of the weapon when it's ready to fire again. And then the second bar here shows the ammunition. So that's how many shots it has in the current rotation. Each energy cell that you load into an energy turret provides a certain number of ammunition. I think it looks like it's something around the order of 10 shots. And then each unit of explosive ammo for the missile launcher only uses 4 shots. So missiles are limited in their use. What I want to try to do here is I want to try to puncture their bridge area and try to disrupt their command and control. I think the bridge is here. So I'm going to shoot at this section with the missiles, try to create some micro breaches that'll cause a vacuum. So notice we got a hit here. It didn't create a breach though. But we did an extra 5 units of damage, whereas these weapons, the energy weapons, are only doing 1 point of damage each to their hull. Now, if maybe what I should do, actually, let's try to finish off their shield generator. We'll focus all of our fire here. Now, at some point, they're going to spin up their hyperdrives and try to get out of here because we're overwhelming them. We created a... They want to surrender. We're not going to accept their surrender. You can see here that we've created a micro breach, so their ship is going to start leaking oxygen. If we had sensors, we could scan their ship and we could see what was happening on board. There might be fires and things like that going on that we don't know about. We'll find out that a little bit later. Okay, ships left the sector. Our weapons should automatically stop firing. So we saw a couple stray shots go out there. Now that that's done, we have time. So we're going to unman our shuttles for now. The enemy ship's shields will not recharge as long as they're not in this sector with us, so we're going to take some time here and let our crew rest and recuperate from the battle while they're on the run. We're going to turn all our systems back to auto, so everything goes off of red alert. And I just hit the Alt key here to show the interior of the ship again. So everybody's going to go back to their schedule for like a day. If we want to wait, our shields are all recharged, our weapons are all rearmed, so I think that's enough. Let's go ahead and go up to red alert again. Now there is also a master... They took away the master red alert. Now you have to do it per system. That's okay. And we're going to go back to having our people in the shuttles ready to board. Now, if we haven't waited too long, we should see them leaving the sector, and we can see what direction they're heading. So if we want to intercept them and fight them again, we can jump to the same sector they're jumping to, and we have a chance to escape them. Or, well, actually they're forcing us to stay in the sector, which is kind of the opposite of what's really happening. But there's no option to, like, stay and fight them, so this is what we're doing. Jump in the sector here. Now, notice this ship, their health bar hasn't really changed. They've still got some hull damage. Their shields are still down. And we'll see in a second that they still have some damage to their shield generator. We're going to continue... Yeah, you can see it's only got 3 hit points left. I'm going to continue focusing that down. No, we're not accepting your surrender, sorry. Now, we can try to disable their hyperdrives by, like, setting them on fire or something. But I find that it's usually most effective to try to destroy one of their shields. In those cases, what'll happen is their hull will be destroyed before we destroy an individual system, so it doesn't make a huge difference where we target. But it can vary sometimes depending on the ship that you're fighting, how tough they are, how many stabilizers they have, and so forth. So what happens now, so we completely depleted that ship's health bar, so the ship is going to explode. What happens when they explode is all these explosions go off. Crew members can get injured by these explosions. These are kind of similar to the blasts from getting hit by a missile, actually. And random holes are going to start appearing, and systems are going to start getting destroyed all over the ship. So we'll see over the course of a minute or two here, we'll see all of their... let's stop our weapons fire. Let's remove target. We'll see over the course of a minute or two here, all of their systems will go dead. And their shuttles will automatically disembark from their bays. So we could see them hovering underneath. Now, if we were the ship that had been destroyed, we could try to, there's ways that we could build and try to recover this. We can repair these damaged hull sections and try to rebuild systems that have been annihilated and so forth. We can use these shuttles and dock them to try to bring in supplies and so forth. But in this case, we're on the attack. Let's go ahead and see what we've got on the other side of the Gulf here. I think we're going to dock on these two airlocks on the side. Now, since we've destroyed their ship, we also have random breaches in the hull in different sections. And what we can do if we wanted to is we could make our own additional breaches. Let's go ahead and start using our missiles to just shake them up a little bit. Unfortunately, we can't see inside their ship because we don't have a sensor. But we can try to just put some holes in different areas and soften up the enemy ship ahead of our approach. So hopefully we're hitting, like, enemy crew members in there somewhere. We don't really know. We can see that additional holes are appearing in the ship's hull as we hit them with our missiles. One other thing I want to point out, by the way, is that you can see each time we fire a missile, our ammo counter is going down here. When the ammo counter runs out, you'll see that the missile launcher becomes briefly unavailable. A crew member has to go in and refill the launcher using a logistics task. Let's see that real quick. So notice this icon indicates that the launcher is unavailable, that it's waiting for ammunition. So somebody's got a logistic task to go and refill this. So if we look at the jobs, we can see that it's been assigned to one of our logistics robots. So we'll see this robot is, I think it's this guy here, is going to come over and pick up a missile crate and then load it into the launcher. It's important to know that because there's a couple different reasons that your weapons can fail. One of them is that you don't have any ammunition assigned, so you have no available missiles or energy that you can fire. Another is that your ship has lost power because the weapons have used too much power. So those are the basic reasons. Let's take our systems back to automatic. We're gonna let's go to stand down all of our system except for turrets. We're gonna keep turrets on yellow alert so that we can fire at enemy crew members if we see a large concentration of them. We're gonna enter both airlocks simultaneously here. I'm gonna try to meet up in the center. Looks like it shouldn't be a problem. Now, because each time we open one of these doors, by the way, we can see that atmosphere is venting from different sections of the ship. Those little lines that you see animated here show. So this room actually still has oxygen. There's no... if you look at our monitor here, we can see that there's still a little bit of atmosphere in here, but it's leaking out of the room because we opened this door, and because the door vent is open anyway. So all the oxygen's slowly going to leak out of that room until it's gone. You can see here some micro breaches that were left behind by our missiles and by damage to the ship. Now we have our first opponent here. Let's get our shots lined up. Anon is wounded, so we're moving him back a little bit. Let's try to get these guys into the fray. They're just waiting on the other side of that door. You know what? Let's use the missiles and shake them up a little bit. So the missiles are not super effective against crew members, but they do some damage. If those guys continue to stand there, they'll take hits. Notice the missiles are hitting at kind of random locations. There we go. So we can't see too well from here because we have limited vision, but you could see there that the crew member took damage from a missile hit there. We're We're going to let this go for 1 or 2 more shots and then cease fire because I want to be able to move my crew in, and I don't want them to get shot. They've actually left and gone outside the hull to try to fight us, so that's good for us because it gives this little narrow choke point that they have to come through in order to get to us. This guy's gonna die. And then we have another guy coming around here. He's toast. Okay, yeah. An interesting thing about this, we damaged this door with the missile turret, so the door is stuck in a half-open position. There's no way for crew members to traverse this, so they have to go around. That's probably one of the reasons why these guys went outside the hull there. Crew is very accurate with all these assault rifles. I love it. Alright, so we've completely defeated their ship's crew here. Now, we have to be mindful, if we do want to take prisoners here, we have to be conscious of time, because the prisoners are going to run out of oxygen. Whatever was left in their suits is all that they have to breathe. And then they're going to have to go to an airlock and get more. So, we're going to take them all prisoner here. We're going to explore the rest of the ship so we can find everybody. Let's see what we got here. Construction, navigation, research. I don't think we need more research. What skills do we actually need? Let's take a look. I'm looking for a crew at this point for the second ship that we're going to build pretty soon. So I think we want gunners. I think we want shields. We have plenty of navigators. Everybody can navigate. So we want gunners. We want shields. We might want some industry and construction. This guy is technically brave. He's good at construction. The other thing is a lot of these guys are wounded, so they might bleed to death. We want to take a couple extra guys just to make sure that we actually get some prisoners out of the deal. We also want to bring our wounded guys back quickly. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to undraft our guys for a minute and just let them go get oxygen. I'm going to grab oxygen from these nearby airlocks. And they've actually explored the rest of the ship on their own, so that's pretty good. You need to board and seize this derelict if you want to salvage it. I thought that's what I was doing. Seized by the Cult of New Haven. Maybe because I have nobody on board the ship that's drafted? I don't know. Anyway. Let's go ahead and... This guy's pretty good. We're gonna take him. If he survives. I think we were gonna take him a minute ago. I don't know what just happened there. Some kind of AI glitch. Okay, so these two guys, send those 3 guys to board this shuttle. I'm gonna move this shuttle a little bit closer because it's like way far away from everything. Let's actually move a shuttle over to this airlock. And I think we're gonna take Inko as well, unless he's really bad. He's good at construction, that's okay. I was hoping we get a gunner here, but it didn't seem like we got one. I think I might undraft this shuttle and just let people go home as they want to. And it'll just be this shuttle drafted with the prisoners. I wanted to get Inko, but I got sidetracked. Come on, Inko. There we go. Is Lenny drafted? No. Okay, let's go ahead and start some transfers here. Now, because this is a manned NPC ship, there's all kinds of stuff aboard. Let's go ahead and bring everything over. These guys doing there. There they go. Okay, and now this guy, I'm going to let him come back over to our ship. So just undraft him. There's another ship. So this will dock, if left to its own devices, this will dock at the airlock first. What's it doing? It's going back there with the prisoners. Sometimes shuttles do things that are a little bit strange. I would have expected it to unload all the prisoners here, but it did not. Looks like it had something else in mind for its route. It's got to load up cargo first. Shuttles have this whole scheduling algorithm that they do kind of behind the scenes to like figure out the optimal route involving multiple stops. Sometimes the things they do are a little bit weird. Like in this case, I took the prisoners back to their own ship and then back again. I think we're actually going to draft this and have it dock here. When it docks in the bay, it's automatically going to unload everybody on board. Okay, there we go. So once the prisoners are on board, they'll just kind of stand there in the airlock for like 2 minutes, and then eventually, if you have a prisoner section designated in your prisoner permissions, they'll eventually migrate to that section or to the med bay if they're wounded. Alright, so they got settled in, they're eating. We see that one of our crew members is using the lone medbed that we have here. I just realized we're down to 8 energy rods. Let's get a move on here. Need to expedite this. So mark this transfer as expedite so we can quickly get all the cargo off of the ship. Once we've done that, we're going to jump to the other sector and get the blue crystals. Now, if we run completely out of energy, we have options. Because we have a bunch of solar panels on board, we could shut down some non-essential systems and limit our ship's energy footprint and try to run the ship entirely on solar power. We could also dismantle stuff if we needed to build more solar panels. But let's try to avoid that if we can. Environment conditions. Yeah, you're on board the space station, I know. There we go. Okay, before we jump into the next sector, I'm going to wait and see if these civilians have any energy crystals that we can purchase, or any energy rods. I think we can afford to wait for 4 hours. We can also look at our ship's footprint and try to increase our hull area to finish our solar panel batteries that we were working on earlier. The only thing I'm not sure about doing that is that what is also going to cost us energy blocks, so maybe we hold off on that until we have a little bit more energy. Let's take a look at our vapor levels since we built the one collector earlier. So vapor level's still pretty high, which usually indicates that we don't have enough collectors. We generally want the vapor level to be trending downwards into the 100s and below. So we're going to buy some blue crystals and some energy rods from the Queen Anne's Revenge. We're going to sell some of this exorbitant amount of hyperfuel that we have, I think. Because we have, what, 100 crystals here. Yeah, that's plenty. And we're also going to sell some plastic while we're at it, I think. Don't have anything else that we actually need. We're down to 12 ice from the 22 that we had at the start of this session, so maybe let's buy some water. We could also buy energy blocks, which would save us energy in the sense that we wouldn't be using them for weapons and things like that. The energy cells and shields, energy cells for the shields and energy cannons cost a lot of energy to produce, so We could also buy some energy scrap from them if we wanted to. It's kind of an expensive way of doing things. We have money, though. Let's go ahead and buy like 10 more water units. And I think that should do. So as soon as we're done with this transaction, then we'll go harvest the blue crystals from the neighboring sector over there. One thing I'd like to have is another pod bay, or to find a repair station, because I want to build a second ship and get some more systems online. I want to show you guys the sensor and the targeting jammer before we wrap up our first playthrough here. So we are going to see if we can find a repair station where we can quickly crank out a ship build using cash. Oops, I just forgot to complete our third trade. Oh well. Yeah, so we're going to hop back to this sector. Now we're in a nebula, so we're going to lose all our shields. We've got to be mindful of that. It's going to cost us some energy cells. Hopefully it's worth it. I think we're in the resource-rich sector still, so it should be worth it. And we'll also pick up some ice while we're here. Yeah, this is definitely worth it. So all our energy problems are now solved. And that means we can start making some more solar panels as well. How are we doing on ship's mass? We got room. Okay. There's enough room already for another panel. Oops. Let's click that a little bit. How do we link this nice? Here's where it gets tricky. Let's do this for now. Here we go. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, and then we have... Did we miscount the dimensions here? I guess I did. I made it 1 unit too long. So we'll trim off a little bit of hull when we're done here. Let's go ahead and do that now. Just taking one line here. Alright, and that should be our full solar panel assembly. I guess it's going to be a two-way link. So it's better. Actually, let's make this one way. I think it'll work more efficiently that way. I have a feeling. There we go. Otherwise, the energy is going to bounce back and forth between the two panels, probably. Let's see. Power... Oh, I made this a little bit too narrow somehow. I missed a section of my activation here. There we go. So we're gonna cancel that. And then we're gonna remove this. And let's erase the sketch in this area here. Yeah, that should be good. And once that's built, then we'll finish the nodes here. And do we have more sketched out in the back here? We do. So we can fit another 2 panels in the back, or 4 panels in the back, maybe. And we see we've used up a substantial portion of our blue crystals already doing this project. Okay, we recruited a prisoner, William. Welcome aboard. These guys are still not ready to recruit yet. We only just brought them on board, so that's no surprise. For a minute, I thought I saw Naros in there. I was like, I don't know if I want him on board. Alright, okay. Oops. Here we go. Get our last couple nodes linked up here. Is this node linked to anything? I guess it's linked to the battery. I think it is. Good. So the forward solar arrays are finished. Queen Anne's Revenge, we already bought all your energy. Let's move on to the next sector. I'll be curious to do a stress test of the solar panels and see how well they actually power the entire ship. I think they're not going to cover everything. We're going to end up having to run at least one generator at all times, even when the solar panels are active. So we have so much stuff going on board the ship. This could give us some energy blocks. That's an interesting opportunity. Now we could also build this as our new ship, use this as a basis. But it's only a... Is that a 1x1 or a 2x1? I think that's a 2x1 ship. I think we want something a little bigger for our new ship. Okay, so we're gonna mount up our 2 shuttles here to go check out that claimable ship. And I think I also want to put somebody on the turrets. And we'll take somebody off navigation. Because what I want to be able to do is, if we see like a huge alien nest, we can bombard them with our missile turret. Although we have to be mindful that we're destroying resources on board here when we do that, potentially. Okay, so here we have... This is actually an X3 power generator, which is a technology that we don't have yet. That's intriguing, but I think we still want a larger ship. We do have a nest here, so we can start bombarding and try to kill or at least damage some of the eggs, if we don't mind hitting the generator. Oops, I want to move these guys. So we can see the missiles coming in. You can see it almost annihilated the eggs there. It was solar flare coming in. I think that's enough missile fire, probably. We should be able to make quick work of them. There's not too many. We see one big guy here. Unfortunately, he didn't get injured by the missile attack. But we cleared him real quick. No big deal. Okay, we've explored the Lacerta. And I think we want to claim it and get the X3 generator dismantled for energy blocks. We also have an X1 over here. These energy nodes are also worth energy blocks, so we can dismantle them as well. And I don't think we need infra blocks or anything else like that. Maybe we do. No, we're just getting hit by a solar flare here, but I think it's worth it to get a few extra blocks. I think we can withstand the flare. Although we are in a nebula, so our shields are down. That's a consideration. I think we'll be alright, though. Our ship's pretty well compartmentalized. The only thing will be if the fire gets in here, we might lose half of our grow beds for one crop. This would be a great time actually to do our solar power stress test, because we want our energy levels to be low across the board. Let's go ahead and run our ship entirely on solar power and see how long it can run for. So we're going to be watching our batteries on the wings here to see if they get low. So far, it looks like we're doing okay. So we see this is slowly starting to drain. It actually looks like we're providing quite a lot of the ship's energy. So we're draining the starboard batteries, it looks like. But we're doing pretty well. We've been on them batteries for a couple hours. And that's going to help when the solar flare hits, because there's less energy that can be converted into heat. Let's go ahead and dismantle these guys. And then this as well, and this. Here comes the flare. Okay, so we have... we're gonna close all of our hatches here. Looks like we have fire in the forward starboard panel section. Let's get everybody into their spacesuits. So we're going to lose some solar panels in the front section here. Our ship's lost power. That's okay. We can turn our generators back on, and that should solve our problem in short order. We also have a fire in the shuttle bay, which is kind of unfortunate. I think we should try to get this under control. Let's take half of our crew and go there. Evan, you're gonna go fight the fire in the shuttle bay. These guys, you're gonna go fight the fire in the shuttle bay. These guys are not all in suits yet. Shoot. Okay, these guys are already heading to fight the fire in the solar bay, it looks like, so that's okay. We made it alright here. We got lucky none of our grow bed areas got hit, so... Oh no, sorry, I take it back. I forgot we had grow beds up in this area. So eventually all the oxygen's going to be starved out of some of these rooms. Let's undraft. Oh, Penny's fighting the fire without a suit. Sorry, Penny. Oh, no, she has a suit on. Never mind. Okay. So we've got a bunch of nodes that need to be repaired here. William has been recruited. He's going to help fight the fire. Cool. So we're going to start thinking how to... We've already got a gas scrubber in here, so we can wait till this clears out before we open up this section again. We didn't lose power to anything important, really. I'm happy about that. Our ship's got a lot of resiliency. And I think we can allow people to not wear spacesuits when they're outside of dangerous areas. Okay, and the smoke here is starting to clear. We can see the temperature going down. Still at 138 right now, though. 138 centigrade, which is quite hot. We'll wait for the temperature to go down in here before we open this up. 200 degrees centigrade. It'll slowly drop. Although we are in a radiation sector, so it's not going to drop that slowly. But it is slowly dropping a little bit. Okay. Let's continue working on our aft solar arrays while we're waiting for the fire to be cleared out. I think I'm missing some batteries over here. Need power capacity nodes. Let's do that. I think we're done. We're done with the ship at this point, so we can move to another sector if we want to. Not done with salvaging the blue crystals, though. Or mining, rather. I think we want to take on some more carbon for our plants and for general purposes, for plastic manufacturing and so forth. Still waiting for this gas scrubber to get caught up. And I think we're ready to open this door and let this start venting into the neighboring section now. We could put a gas scrubber in this area in order to mitigate future fires. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see why not. Lenny, how did you get over there? That was weird. He was like walking on top of the solar panel somehow. Yeah, it tends to do weird things sometimes when there's like smoke and hazardous conditions on board the ship. So they go to great lengths to avoid those areas. Okay, let's see. Now, some of these things are going to be two-way links because we want the batteries to be charged from both sides. That should do it. Is this a two-way link? Yeah. Must have misclicked here. Here we go. And this is one way. Here we go. Okay, I think we can open all of our vents now at this point. That should bring things back to normal. We're having some CO2 issues in the crew quarters section here because all the doors were closed. This should resolve most of our issues. I think we can afford to take all this Hyperium. How are we doing on base metal? 46. Should be enough for a new ship build, but let's take the rest of it anyway. And then the metals likewise. New ship builds use a lot of material. I'm debating whether we should start doing that in this sector. I think because of the high thermal radiation, we should probably wait until we get into another sector that's a little bit safer to start our ship build. Like I said, ideally I want to find a repair station, civilian repair station. Can it raise oxygen levels? Let's take a look. That's not good. Okay, let's take a look at our silhouette here and see where we can fit in an oxygen generator. I kind of like the shape that we have going here, where it's got these little forward cannon pods at the front. I don't want to mess that up too much. I feel like it would be okay, though, if we expanded here, maybe. Or maybe let's do it at the back by the shields. Yeah, let's have it over here. Sketch is what I meant to do. So that's gonna be another oxygen generator. And this is gonna be another oxygen generator. So we want to have more than we actually need, so it makes sense to build two. My body temperature in this area. This is getting warm from the radiation, from a thermal radiation sector. Yeah, so let's go ahead and try to address that. This is also getting a little bit warm. There we go. Beautiful. Got a lot of mining going on, and pretty soon we're going to have a lot of hull construction. What do we have here? Oh, this is blocked off. Whoops. Okay. I think we could fix that just by rotating this toilet installation. And then we're going to build a wall here, and then the oxygen generator will be behind there. Okay, so here's our other oxygen generator in the meantime. Okay, so this needs to need a door for maintenance, and I think I also want to put a vent there once this wall is done. This one's not going to have a vent, but it opens out to the shield generator anyway, so oxygen's going to flow over that thing. It's not really sealed in its own compartment. There's a vent here. Okay, we're still mining. Still working on our quantum research. I'm trying to figure out if there's a place we could put another mining pod. I think we should try to fit one in somewhere. Maybe we could expand these aft sections here on either side of the hyperdrive and put in some mining pods in the aft. Let's go ahead and... How big is the mining pod? First of all, let's check. This is 3. Effectively like 4 by 3. So with the fourth node being the entrance skirt. That should do. Yeah, like that. Okay. These are going to be the aft mining pods. And with 5 mining pods, it should be easy to quickly build a new ship. What I also want to do in preparation for a new ship build, let's ramp up our production of hull blocks, because we're going to need like something like 60 or 70 hull blocks, I think, in order to produce a new ship from scratch. Let's go ahead and... Just going to start cranking out hull blocks here. And then likewise, infra blocks. So that's like 50 hull blocks and 50 infra blocks, roughly. Actually, we have another factory here I forgot, so let's produce some of them here as well. And we'll cancel some of these. Manufacturing is going to use a lot of energy, so we got to keep an eye on that going forward here. Looks like our fire is already under control here. Let's take a look at our ice supply. We're down to 10. And let's look at our water vapor. It is slowly dwindling across the ship here. I'm going to introduce one more collector, though. It's important to note that the water vapor collector generates discomfort, so we want to be careful where we place it. I think it makes sense here to place it next to the generators, because that area is noisy anyway. And I'm going to try to shut down for the generators for a little while. Let's see if we can run on solar. See the batteries getting depleted on the starboard side here as the factories continue to work. Maybe we should make these solar panel spars a little bit longer. Oh, we've got to build our new pods here. That one's still under construction. Oops. This will also enable us to do mining more quickly, which is a nice benefit. But the main reason I'm building these is so that we can construct our second ship more quickly. Okay, we're starting to have some energy shortages across the ship here. Let's turn our generators back on. So we ran on solar for a couple hours. Save energy. We ultimately need more panels if we want to run the whole ship on solar indefinitely, though. What's our percentage here? 85.5, which is pretty good. So this is a pretty high solar output sector. Let's get the Auriga underway. We're leaving behind the Lacerta. Thank you, Lacerta, for your service. We're going to avoid the Siren World. I kind of want to jump into the Siren World just to show you guys what it is, but it takes a while for it to take effect, so I don't know. Siren World is dangerous when your ship has a small crew, because the longer you stay in the sector, the more members of your crew start to, like, lose their minds and do weird things. Hence the term Siren World. So we're gonna try to avoid that, because I don't want to lose my whole ship here, and I don't want to spend hours in the sector watching crew members go crazy. But I encourage you to try that on your own if that's something you want to see. Sometimes it's worth it to hang out in the sector for a bit if there's vital resources in there, but there's nothing in that sector to incentivize us to go there. Sector also has high solar radiation, high thermal radiation. Anyway. It's like there's nobody home. Okay, so we'll pick up a couple free tech blocks and energy blocks, and then be on our way. This has a working generator. Let's stop logistics to it to prevent energy rods from being loaded in. How are we doing on soft locks, by the way? Doesn't look like we have any. We're going to need some of those for the new ship build, too. So let's go ahead and dismantle the beds here and the toilets to get soft blocks. And basically we'll take everything here that's not nailed down. Incoming micrometeoroids. We have our shields ready. We're fine. Let's go to yellow alert on shields. This ship may suffer some damage. If I wanted to be super cautious, I could bring all my crew members back on board the main ship until the storm has passed, but I think we'll be okay. Yeah, we're alright. Let's go back to auto. More chemicals and carbon we'll always take. The thing about building a new ship is you have to be committed to staying in one sector long enough to build a thing that moves. So it has to have the bare minimum elements of a ship, a hull stabilizer, a hyperdrive, and a navigation console, and a power system. So you have to have enough time to build all of those things without leaving the sector and gathering more resources. Our energy could present an obstacle to that, which is one of the reasons why I'm building solar here. I'm being pretty conservative. We could probably manage it, I think, especially with 5 pods online now. Still have some logistics going on over here. Here we go. Okay, now we strip this bare, more or less. I'm not going to go back just for this one life support system that I forgot. Okay. We'll pick up some more ice because we're probably low on that already. Yep. And we're still in the radiation zone. It's very nice to have 5 mining pods out there. You can get stuff quickly. I'll have to hang out in the sector for a long time. We can see, meanwhile, that we're accumulating hull blocks and infra blocks, which is good. It's going to prepare us for our ship build. Like I said, I think we need about 50 of each to start a new ship build. We also need a bunch of tech blocks, which we have, and a bunch of energy blocks, which I think we have enough for something basic right now. If he's on their coffee break, we'll let them finish their coffee break. There we go. We'll stop here and pick up some more ice, like we said we were going to do earlier. And we're also going to trade with the androids and try to get some more blue crystals and some energy rods. Since we're going to be in this sector for like 6 hours and we're up to 40 hull blocks, I'm going to see if I can try to do my second ship build. I'm going to make a cut here for purposes of my YouTube channel, start a new recording. And on the new recording, we're going to talk about building a new ship from scratch.